So me and Chris would be speaking quickly about like transforming your current on-prem skills, like like your tech domain. If you're already in tech domain and you have been in the industry for quite some time, but working like on technologies which are not cloud, then how can you transition those to your cloud skills? And I'm a big advocate actually of transforming your current on-prem skills to cloud. And in fact, I keep posting about that on my LinkedIn. So what I'll do is that I'll share my screen and I'll a similar format that I used last time. I'll share a few LinkedIn posts that I shared on the same topic, and then I'll give you some paths about how you can do it, and then we'll hear from Chris about her own journey. Let me know when you guys can see the screen. Cool. Let me expand it a bit. I think that will be better. So as I said, generally, if you are already in a in a tech domain and you have some good skills on prem, then you can easily transition them. That's why I say you would need a probably a 3 months to 6 months a time frame, and you should be able to do it. And I have put up series of posts, like one of like the question that I was got that uh, continuing the today's topic of networking. There was a person who asked me that he has been a network engineer for 12 years and who would like to get into cloud and was facing some difficulty. So we worked together and I created we created this plan based on his current work commitments, his current skills, and where he wanted to be in next 6 months or so. And it was it's a cool 6 months plan, and this particular plan can be easily replicated for any on-prem skill that you have. Like there was another post that I put that, let me expand that too, that in case if you're a SQL Server DB or in case of a database administrator, then it's like obviously a bit of adjustments here and there, but then you would be having this template about having your own a customized plan for yourself based on what your skills are and where you would like to reach, and feel free to, like, if you have very specific skills that you are currently working on and you would like transition to cloud, feel free to put it on the chat here or on the LinkedIn group, and we will be able to help you with a customized plan about what you should be following in terms of accelerating your career to cloud. In fact, we do have AWS Skill Builder, and I'll be posting these links in which you at least this would be giving you the basics about if you are a networking learning path. If you, in case let's say if you have experience in storage, you would be able to get learning path for your on-prem storage to your cloud storage. There are a lot of paths and all of them are free. You can just simply go through it, and it is in different languages too, and you should be able to have a customized plan for yourself. But having said that, let's hear from Chris now. Chris, before sharing, I would like to understand a couple of questions. I would like to understand that before joining AWS, what was your experience? Give us some background, more background about yourself, so people can understand.
Yeah.
From where you are coming from.
So basically, when I joined AWS, I did not have much knowledge about the AWS services and so on, and I didn't see that as a limit to apply. But before I talk about that, I want to talk about my experience, from a bit, before AWS, because I've actually replicated that same methodology that I take to apply for companies where I don't have much to bring initially, and I've done it 3 times. So I want to share some tips here. I actually studied networking in France, and I graduated in 2013. And then I did some work around networking, and I realized, well, this is not really what I want to do for the rest of my life. I knew that the cloud was becoming a big thing. I didn't know how to get in there, but I knew that first of all, I had to speak English. So first thing, I relocated from France to the UK in 2013, and I went to a language school. I put literally all of my money in there, and it was a program that lasted for 9 months, and after 6 months I ran out of money, so I had to drop out of the school because I could not afford a life anymore. London was much more expensive than what I had anticipated, and so I went to find a job in the UK, and there was this job called cloud architect. And I looked at the job description, and they asked for networking skills, which I had, but I didn't have any expertise around virtualization, around security. They were asking like a number of topics. So what I did is that I applied anyway, knowing that I didn't have everything they were asking for apart from networking. And still, I didn't have a massive experience in networking, but I applied anyway, and I trained myself on YouTube. There's a lot, people like Prasad or Ashish, this BESA program, they do things for free. So I watch videos on YouTube, and I trained myself. I bought books, and I started to understand more about virtualization and so on, just so that I could have enough for the interview. Now, of course, I didn't have enough for the interview. They quickly realized that I wasn't there yet. But I showed that I was someone who was eager to learn. I showed that I was curious. And it's really important for organizations to look for people that they can trust as opposed to just looking for people who have the technical skills. Because the people who can trust are the people who are going to make contribute to a good culture in the organization and do good for the customers. And that's what I think companies should be looking for. So that was the first thing. After a year, I realized the culture wasn't a good fit for me. I didn't see myself grow in this company. If I work for a company, I want to give my best to them. I want them to give the best for me. So the culture wasn't good for me. I left. I put my CV online, and a recruiter reached out to me for a pre-sales role. Now, pre-sales, the sales in there, I had never sold anything in my life. Pre-sales is similar to systems engineer, solution engineer. It's usually the same name for the same thing, but essentially, you have to help organizations to solve IT challenges by selling your company's technology. So basically what I had to do, I had to pitch the technical value of the technology that I was trying to sell so that customers would buy it and solve their IT challenges. And it was all about data center solutions. Now, define how much compute, how many servers a company would need, what type of storage array, how many switches, those sort of things. I had no clue. Again, I had networking expertise. I had 1 year of cloud architect, which was mainly focused on VMware at the time. So I didn't know anything about on-premises equipment. But again, I went on the internet, I started to do a bit of research. I showed the company that I was interested, that I was someone they could invest in because I was going to learn anyway. And also during the interview process, it's very important to ask the company what are they going to do to develop you, because it's not just from you, the effort has to come from them as well. So they told me they were going to help me in regards to training, in regards to they had different programs that they told me about, and we had this trust, and they hired me. My English wasn't that great at the time. No jokes. I had to record meetings with customers on my phone and then listen to them at night, and answer emails or do follow-ups because I just couldn't process everything during the day. But I had the conviction that I was in the right environment to succeed. Fast forward, I did this job for 5 years, building on-premises data centers, uh, you know, defining how many servers and so on. After 5 years, I wanted to see something else. Also, COVID happened, so the my activities became very how to say limited. There was not much business at some point. I got so depressed that just to tell you how depressed I was, because I didn't have much to do, I actually created a company. I started to sell tea online. But we can talk about that in a different time. Then I realized I couldn't live on selling tea online. It wasn't like a good plan. So I actually went to somebody that I knew at AWS, someone who used to work with me in the past, and I said, "Hey, tell me about Amazon Web Services. How is this? How's the culture? How's the role of the solution architect?" And he took the time. So we had a 1 hour conversation. He took the time to explain me about the role. He explained me about the culture, because AWS, they really invest in people who fit their culture. It's all about the leadership principles, not just about how good technically you are. And so I thought, okay, that sounds really good. Now, I don't know anything about all the services you told me about, this EC2 and so on. I know nothing. Where do I start? And he said, well, you should apply anyway. You should apply anyway. And if you're really scared, take the solution architect exam, the associate one. So I went on Udemy. There is this guy called Stefan Marek. I saw he had a 20 hours course to get certified. I took that course. It took me 3 months. I did that after work. Sometimes I did it during the weekend. Sometimes I did it during working hours when I had a break. And I passed the exam, and that helped me a lot to build foundations on the AWS. But it wasn't enough because again, AWS, they don't hire people with a lot of certifications. They hire people with good, with the mindset that fit their culture. So I said, hey, now you need to help me with those leadership principles. There's a lot of questions that I could find on the internet. Can you help me to prepare and how to answer the questions when I go to the interview? And so he helped me with those questions that I found on the internet. I actually share those questions with people when they reach out to me on LinkedIn as well. But it's not just about answering the question, it's about answering how AWS wants you to answer. And here they have this STAR format. STAR stands for situation, task, action, result. Every time they ask a question, I basically we have to answer using that format. So the guy at Amazon Web Services, he helped me to prepare to answer in that format. Every time I was like deviating, he was like, "No, stop, try again." I felt so frustrated, but he did not give up on me. And I was thinking, if people are like this at Amazon Web Services, they're really investing in people. It must be like a really good culture. Anyway, I had the interviews. I went through the loop. I also, wanted to show them that they could trust me because again I passed the solution architect exam, but still I have no experience in the cloud. I just have an exam. So I also questioned them, my new manager, for example, like, how you're going to make sure you're going to develop me. um, like questions around what do you seek for, for a good solution architect. What are the strengths that you look for an architect? Tell me about a solution architect that really impressed you. Those sort of questions. I wanted to show them that it's not just up to me to impress them. I want them to impress me as well, and they really impressed me, of course. So to me, it's a win-win. It's not just about what I give them, it's also about what they give me. So at the end, I passed all the interviews. Sorry, I passed. Sorry, I failed. I failed actually first. I failed, guys. I failed on the role that I applied first because it was senior, and they said, "Look, Christelle, we really like you, but you're not good fit for senior. You're not there yet technically, but we like how motivated you are. We like the fact that you took the solution architect exam. We like that you're, very ambitious and so on. So we're going to create a role for you." So they did create a role for me at a lower position. And this is how I joined AWS. So basically, I got recycled. Just to tell you that even if you don't think that technically you're there, trust yourself. Because if they see that they have somebody in front of them that they can trust, who is eager to learn, eager to grow, then they will do things like what they did for me. They created a role. So that's my story, and I hope that it helps. Feel free to reach out, and we really hope that you get a lot of support, the kind of support I wish I had before I joined AWS. So good luck, guys, and thanks.
Wow. uh, this is like amazing. I can't even, I have no words, like, gave me goosebumps listening to your journey, Chris. Seriously, and one thing, like, I would like each and everyone who is listening to this to take away from Chris' journey is that is what even I am taking away, is that if you have dedication and persistence, you can definitely make it big. Like, in case if you are in a situation where you're thinking it is too hard for you at the moment, think about Chris' journey. It was not easy for her, but she made it, right, just through sheer determination and the whole persistence that she had. And it is the same with almost everyone, here. And that is why we are so passionate about contributing back, because there was someone who believed us, there was someone who, helped us, and we want to do it a similar way to the entire community, right? So don't feel that you guys, if anyone is kind of stuck. I know that, when I start mentoring few people, they are like, they are lost, they are stuck, they are struggling. It's a part of the journey. There will be a time when you will be struggling, there will be a time when you will be like finding it way too difficult, but once you go through it, and the end results, you can see, like, amazing journey, Chris. I love it. uh, so guys, feel free to, in case if you have any questions, regarding not only just about the whole AWS journey, but how to move into tech, or if you're in tech and you want to get into cloud, and uh, any other kind of like questions, uh, then don't hesitate in reaching out, like either to us individually or in the group. The whole group is a safe place. I keep saying this to everyone. If you interact more in the group, it will be helping more people than you can imagine. Sharing your own personal experiences with a group, I know it is shy, if people are shy, it is difficult to be open with everyone. But once you start doing that, two things happens: other people also open up, and people start helping you. Helps comes in ways that like you can't even imagine, or you can't even think about. And there is a question I can see on the chat, which is quite happens: what if I build something wrong? And this is a typical imposter syndrome that each and everyone goes through. What if what I'm doing is not good enough? What if what I'm doing, everyone will feel that it's not great? Okay, obviously, if you're following some reference architecture, reference guide, it will be right. And if it is wrong, people will correct you. People will let you know that this is the right way to do it. What you have done uh, is okay. See, generally what I have seen is that people are quite encouraging on LinkedIn. uh, or if you are thinking that you are shy and sharing it publicly, share it on the Besa group. Start small. In Besa group, we have a safe group of 1700 people, and in case if there is shortcoming in what you have built, we will be able to tell that this is a better approach to do it. So there is nothing wrong. There can always be a better approach, and we will be doing it and happy to do it, and build that confidence by sharing in a private group. And once you are confident enough, then start sharing publicly. Push us to build that confidence. That's pretty much. I know we are
Exactly.
over
Yeah,
time, but I just wanted
exactly.
to
No
let
worries.
everyone know that yeah, leverage this whole community that we are building here. It's going to help each and every one of us, including us. Uh, See, Ashish is pro at public speaking. Like he is a master of it. But rest all of us, when we are speaking here, we are also practicing our public speaking, right? So it's helping each and every one of us.
Thank for your kind words, Prasad. And no baby learns walking without falling down. So don't worry, don't be afraid of making mistakes. We all make mistakes. It's good like you have someone holding your hand so we can help you in moving forward if there is something we can do though. So just let's know us and hope to see you in next week. Thank you, everyone. Have a good week and we'll talk to you later. Thank you. Bye.